Yo, what's going on YouTube? Jan Moses here back with another My Team video, and in this one I'm going to be going over my predictions for the NBA playoffs third round content coming to My Team this coming Tuesday. Now, before we get into my predictions, I wanted to take a quick look back at the previous two batches of NBA playoffs cards because I think it's kind of helpful to take a look at what direction 2K went in and see if there were any trends that stuck from round 1 to round 2 that may then carry from round 2 to round three's playoff content. So the first trend I want to bring your attention to is the number of dark matters in each drop, which is 3. So off of that alone, I feel like we could see 3 dark matters coming this Tuesday as part of the NBA playoffs third round content. However, looking a little deeper, you'll see that in each of those rounds and in each of those groups of 3 dark matters, only one of those dark matters were on a team that won their series in that respective round. What do I mean by that? Well, in round 1, the Indiana Pacers defeated the Milwaukee Bucks. Tyrese Halliburton, therefore, is on one of the winning teams. Tyrese Maxey, his Philadelphia 76ers, lost to my beloved New York Knicks in round 1. And as I just mentioned, Chris Middleton and his Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Indiana Pacers in round 1. So again, one winner in Tyrese Halliburton in round 1, and then 2 round 1 losers in Tyrese Maxey and Chris Middleton. In round 2, Anthony Edwards and his Minnesota Timberwolves defeated the Denver Nuggets, who have Aaron Gordon on their team. So that makes Ant a winner in round 2, Aaron Gordon a loser in round 2, and then Donovan Mitchell and his Cleveland Cavaliers lose to the Boston Celtics in round 2, even though Donovan Mitchell, I believe, missed the last couple of games of that series. But regardless, just because he's on that team, Donovan Mitchell is a loser in round 2 in terms of the 2023-2024 NBA postseason. So off of that, it makes me also think that we're going to potentially get 3 dark matters where only one of them is from either the Celtics or the Mavericks, and then the other 2 will probably be from the Indiana Pacers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. That is my guess. Now, there is something about that is a little tricky, and I will get to that in a second. I just want to lastly just point out, if you look at the tiers here, first of all, we got 10 cards in round 1 and 11 cards in round 2, and even though we went up by 1 card, I don't think we're going to see more cards in round 3. I think we're going to probably see less. I think we're going to see somewhere around 8 or so cards is my prediction. And in round 2, we got 3 dark matters and 8 galaxy opals, which is great. I think we're going to see something closer to 3 dark matters and 5 galaxy opals. I would love to be wrong and see us get more content, but I just don't see that happening necessarily, and that's fine. We have less teams, right? We only had 4 teams playing in round 3, right, in the conference semifinals, so we don't really have as many players to pick from, and I don't want 2K to just give us filler content for the sake of giving us more cards. Give the upgrades to players who deserve them. There are some predictions that I have where I feel like I'm kind of reaching a little bit, but I'm picking certain cards because 2K hasn't upgraded them in a while, and they may have just had like a really solid game, but not one that's worthy of a dark matter or even a galaxy opal. So with that said, let's move on to my predictions. The card that I think is an absolute lock to get a dark matter this coming Tuesday as part of the NBA playoffs third round content is Andrew Nembhard. He played admirably once Tyrese Halliburton went down, and he had a couple of games, like in game 3, where he had 32 points, and I know Indiana lost every single game of that series against the Boston Celtics, but Nembhard had a damn good series, and he put his name on the map when it comes to young, budding potential stars. As a Knicks fan, obviously, I love having, Jalen Brunson, who was a backup point guard to Luka Doncic, and I don't think Andrew Nembhard necessarily is going to hit the level of stardom that Jalen Brunson has, but he could. There's a lot of similarities in that regard, as he comes in as a backup point guard, and is able to put up really nice numbers. The only difference is when Luka went down a couple years ago in the postseason, I think Jalen Brunson led the Mavericks to a couple of wins over the Utah Jazz, but that's neither here nor there. Andrew Nembhard deserves a dark matter, and his only cards you can see this year are Series 1 and Series 2 cards, which are both gold. So a dark matter is going to be a massive upgrade for him, and it is very much well deserved. Now, the next card I have on here that could get an upgrade is Al Horford. It's going to be kind of tricky because he just got a Galaxy Opal playoffs card, but another trend that we can go back and look at is here in round 2, we have this dark matter Aaron Gordon card. In round 1, we got a Galaxy Opal Aaron Gordon. So 2K clearly doesn't care if they give us a player as an Opal in a previous playoffs drop. They have no issue giving them an upgrade. And full disclosure, there are a couple of other cards on this list, not as dark matters, who I have getting Galaxy Opals in my predictions. But Al Horford, he had 7 threes in game 3 against the Indiana Pacers, and was a big reason why they won that game. I could see 2K giving him to us. Also, one other thing I want to point out, you have to also realize that 2K does not like giving us cards that are going to be OP for free. And so if you look at Andrew Nembhard, he's a 6'4" point guard, really not tall at all for his position, especially now that we're in June. And Al Horford, I mean, you could argue that he's undersized at the power forward position at 6'9". So these two cards also fit that trope of cards that we as a community probably really wouldn't want to get. So yeah, Al Horford, I could see him getting one. Kyrie Irving, now this one's a little tricky for me because I could definitely see Kyrie Irving having an incredible series against the Boston Celtics, but Kyrie, I think, had 2 if not 3 games where he had over 30 points. I think in games 3 and game 5, both Kyrie and Luka Doncic had 33 and 36 points respectively, which is pretty cool. So I can see Kyrie Irving getting an upgrade. We have his Galaxy Opal from the Maestro collection added a couple of months ago, so he could get a card. And once again, just like with Andrew Nembhard, he's an undersized point guard, so I don't think 2K would be too pressed in giving us a Kyrie Irving card. Now, when it comes to Minnesota, I mentioned how we've gotten 1 card from the winning team and then 2 cards from the losing teams. I just don't know what card or what player from the Minnesota Timberwolves deserves to get a dark matter. Maybe because we already got Anthony Edwards last wrong tab. We got Anthony Edwards in round 2 already as a dark matter. So maybe we get another one and they make him point guard eligible, but that wouldn't make any sense because we already have a dark matter point guard eligible Anthony Edwards that came out as part of, I forget which promo. Which promo is this? The Bionic promo. So it really makes no sense for 2K to give us a third Anthony Edwards in about, a month? So I don't see it being Anthony Edwards. Maybe it'll be Karl Towns in game 4, the one game that Minnesota won over the Dallas Mavericks. Karl had 25 points, and I believe he went 4 of 5 from 3. But I personally have Karl Towns getting a Galaxy Opal. We'll go over that a little bit later, but if we get 3 dark matters and they don't pick a Timberwolves player for one of them, then I could see, Jaylen Brown, Andrew Nembhard, Kyrie Irving, and Al Horford. However, if they don't want to give us Kyrie Irving because they want to reserve him for the NBA Finals in case Kyrie has a monster revenge game against his former Boston Celtics. Wait a minute. Hold on. I just realized I had a brain fart. Kyrie Irving plays for the Mavericks. So yeah, in this case, Kyrie from the Mavericks, Andrew Nembhard from the Pacers, Al Horford from the Celtics. I still think there's a chance we get Jaylen Brown. Even though we just got a Jaylen Brown on Friday, maybe that means we're not going to get him. But kind of like with Anthony Edwards, how 2K gave us an Anthony Edwards dark matter and then gave us another one a week or 2 later. I could see 2K doing the same thing. Jaylen Brown won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So that could be a reason for 2K giving us a Jaylen Brown card. I don't think we're going to get Luka Doncic or Jason Tatum in this drop. I feel like 2K is going to be saving them for the finals, and I have a big prediction for that at the end of the video. So Jaylen Brown is outside of my top 3 for dark matter predictions, but I would not be shocked if we get a free Jaylen Brown card because that would be very 2K. 2K would give us the best odds to pull Jaylen Brown if you were to lock in the Ignite collection, and then give you a free Jaylen Brown on top of that on Tuesday. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Now, again, Karl Anthony Towns, if we do get a Minnesota Dark Matter, I think it will be him. But I think we could get another Galaxy Opal Karl Towns that's an upgrade over this All-Star version. Again, I think this was the first weekend that we got Galaxy Opals during the All-Star promo. So we could get another Galaxy Opal Karl Towns. We already have 2 Pink Diamond cats here. Yeah, we have Season Rewind and All-Star Karl Anthony Towns. So I would not be shocked if we now get a second Galaxy Opal Karl Towns. Again, he had 25 points and I think he went 4 or 5 from 3 in that game 4 where the Timberwolves beat the Dallas Mavericks. TJ McConnell, I mentioned earlier that, using that Aaron Gordon example, that we could see 2K give us an upgrade from this playoffs collection. TJ McConnell had a Pink Diamond come out during the round 1 playoff collection. I think he deserves a Galaxy Opal. TJ McConnell, I think, holds some record now for, I think he's the only player in NBA history to go 15-5 in 25 or less minutes. So I think TJ McConnell deserves to get a Galaxy Opal, and this is the kind of card, if you look at the height and the wingspan, that 2K loves giving us for free. So I think TJ McConnell is also a lock to get an upgrade. Jaden McDaniels, this card, I think he deserves to get a Galaxy Opal. First of all, Minnesota, I'm already running out of Minnesota Timberwolves to give upgrades to, because they really played poorly as a team in that entire series against Dallas. That team is just not constructed. I honestly believe the Minnesota Timberwolves were constructed to defeat the Denver Nuggets, and that's it. They played against a more defensive-minded and athletic front court with Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, who are both really solid at protecting the rim and getting dunked, and Minnesota really struggled against those two. And that includes Jaden McDaniels, but he did have one good game. In game 1, he had 24 points and made 6 3-pointers. So maybe we get a Galaxy Opal off of that just to give us another Minnesota Timberwolves player. Derek Lively could get an upgrade. I didn't put him in any of my tabs here. He has a Pink Diamond already, I believe. We can pull him up really quickly. I believe he already has a Pink Diamond. Yeah, from the Gladiator collection. So we could see a Galaxy Opal Derek Lively. I don't know if he missed any shots at all from the field in that series. I feel like every box score I looked at of his in this series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, he was 6 of 6 or 5 for 5 or 3 for 3. So it would be nice to give him an upgrade, just because I feel like he's going to naturally have one of the higher shooting percentages in conference finals history in the NBA. So maybe we get a Derek Lively upgrade. I just don't feel as good about it, because while he didn't really miss many, if any, shots, that didn't really lead to him getting a ton of points in any of those games. Up next, who do I have here? Obi Toppin. His last upgrade was during the first breakout collection where we got a Sapphire. The problem is Obi didn't really do anything that amazingly. I think he didn't have more than 15 or 20 points in any of the games. So this may just be like a pity Galaxy Opal, just to give us more non-Celtic and Maverick players. But it would be nice to see Obi Toppin get an upgrade. I think he had a really, really strong postseason. Obi, former Knick, I liked him a lot, but I just didn't know if he was going to fit the long-term goal of the Knicks and where they're going, in the direction that they're going in. But Obi, I think, earned himself a pretty nice payday this coming summer, and hopefully he gets the Galaxy Opal in this upcoming drop on Tuesday. We should have 2 more players here. Rudy Gobert obviously did not have a very strong series. He's going to be most known for getting crossed up on that insane Luka go-ahead bucket to put the Mavericks up 109-108, I believe, in game 2. But Rudy still had a couple of double-doubles, and he hasn't had an upgrade since December of 2023. So I think Rudy Gobert could also get a Galaxy Opal. And then last but not least here, we have Mike Conley. I think Mike Conley kind of falls in the same boat as Obi Toppin, where he's a card that hasn't gotten an upgrade in months, and didn't really have a strong series at all. He had a couple of nice moments, but that's about it. Ultimately, if I had to pick my final 8 cards that are going to get upgrades, I would go with Andrew Nembhard, Kyrie Irving, and Al Horford, assuming we get 3 Dark Matters. Those would be my 3. And then in terms of Galaxy Opals, I would go with 5, I guess. I would go with TJ McConnell, Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, I guess Obi Toppin, and maybe we get Carl Towns. That's my guess. Again, we could get Derek Lively. Maybe we get 6 Galaxy Opals and Derek Lively is the 6th one. But those are my predictions for what we're going to be getting on Tuesday. Last but not least, I wanted to make one prediction for what we're going to get at the end of the NBA Finals in terms of my team content. I think, if the Dallas Mavericks win, Luka Doncic will probably win Finals MVP. If the Boston Celtics win, it'll probably be Jason Tatum who will probably win MVP. That's my prediction. I haven't thought that deeply about my prediction yet. I'm gonna wait till the end of the week when we get close, or the middle of the week when we get closer to Game 1 on Thursday, because I need to see what the update is on Kristaps Porzingis. If Porzingis isn't close to 100% and looks limited out there when he's playing, I think Dallas can win this series in 6. But if Porzingis can play, that's going to change Boston's rim defense, their rim protection, and I think is going to make their already elite defense that much better, and I think will really cause Dallas a lot of problems. But if the Dallas Mavericks win and we get Luka Doncic as the Finals MVP, I do believe we're going to get a 100 overall Luka Doncic card. Shout out to Asiano over here. Really nice card design on this Luka GOAT card. I don't think we'll get a GOAT card, but I could see a Finals MVP getting a 100 overall, maybe a GOAT card, maybe our first Invincible. Who knows? But I do think we're going to get a tier above Dark Matter for the Finals MVP, and that card should be grindable. That is what I believe, and that's what I think is going to happen. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below what your predictions are, if you have any, for what we're getting on Tuesday. And let me know, am I being a little out of pocket saying that we could get a 100 overall GOAT card or Invincible card for the Finals MVP, and that card will be a grindable card at the end of the Finals? Or do you agree with me and see that 2K could give that to us? Because I feel like with how much gamble content there is out there right now in the My Team streets, having a card that we could grind for that is, a 100 overall GOAT or Invincible would be really nice to have. Hope you guys are doing well. I am planning on streaming Sunday morning. You're going to probably see this video either Saturday night, June 1st, or Sunday morning, June 2nd, before I go live. But yeah, stay tuned for the stream if you're interested. I'm going to be grinding some of the online agendas for Spark and Ignite. So yeah, there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I'll see you later.